Good morning. All right, I think I've solved rather unclimactically, I would say, the difficulty I was having with Iain Gilchrist's model, which was, I think what's going to happen is we're going to eventually develop a very complicated model of the brain and how it works, which utilizes Iain Gilchrist's findings, but shows that it is not the only way. Most of his findings are discoverable only when one hemisphere or the other is somehow damaged. What I think we're going to find is there's kind of a yin and yang situation with the brain's hemispheres, because everything he says makes perfect analogical sense. It just doesn't necessarily scientifically line up with all of our findings. For instance, if you remove one hemisphere of the mind, people don't stop being, if you remove the right brain, people don't stop being able to do the things the right brain did. But what I think we'll find is that that there's a yin and yang thing happening, in that there is a small model of the right brain in the left and a small model of the left brain in the right. And that model is kind of like it might be that hemisphere models what the other does to try to be as robust and well-rounded as possible, like they learn from each other. The left brain models the right, and the right brain models the left, just poorly so, but still to the degree to which it can function if one hemisphere is removed. So that's my little pet theory that has nothing to do with science, because I'm not a scientist. And there will probably be some other things, like there will probably be a way in which, when both hemispheres are operating optimally, something more complicated is happening than just left brain, right brain dominance, because they are, and Iain Gilchrist, I think, is trying to allude to this. He's just trying to okay, here's what I think he's doing, and here's the way I'm going to treat his work from now on. I think his work has somehow uncovered some rudimentary analogical structures. And what I mean by analogical structures is patterns in the way the brain operates, in the connections, the things that are connected imagistically, the logic in interconnecting, the reason, I should say, interconnecting those connections. I don't know. I'm still debating with some friends over whether the analogical should be called logical in some way. I like calling it reasonable, because I definitely think it's reasonable. An image is reasonable, and the subtle shifts that happen from one image to another is reasonable. There's a logic to that. There's a reason for it. There's expletive power, and we can understand it and develop it. All right, so what am I going to do? I told you I'd solve this issue, and I've been dancing around it for the past, 8 minutes? 3 minutes? 3 minutes. Okay, that's not too bad. All right, so the solution is rather than talking in terms of left brain, right brain, which really rubs a lot of my friends the wrong way, I'm going to begin talking, and man, it is so good to have friends that listen to my channel from time to time, and who I can talk with and learn from and develop ideas with. So, and there I did it again. I put it off. What the heck's my problem? All right, instead of left brain, I will be talking right hand. The right hand is generally the grasping hand, the tool hand, the logic hand, the analysis hand. And again, maybe I shouldn't say logic there. The left hand is the open hand. It is the courting hand, right? The right hand, while the right hand is busy doing this, although in a skilled way, the left hand is operating, is controlling what is actually happening in a large-scale temporal mode. Of course, they have to be in concert, which is another reason why if you lacked one hemisphere or the other, I don't think you could be much of a musician. It'd be interesting to find out. But it seems to me that to be a true musician, you're going to have both. You're going to have an optimally working brain. But anyway, 2 optimally working hemispheres. Okay, so left brain is the open hand. It is the one you do not notice because it does not focus the attention, at least not in a right brain dominant person, which is the majority. What's going on with a left-handed person? That's a fascinating idea. They do tend to be more creative and more easily depressed. There's a degree of genius, but there's also a degree of self-destruction there. Why? I think Iain Gilchrist mapped it all out. I think he shows that when the left hand dominates, this inability to grasp upon a one point as one's dominant mode, then one gets a sense of the hugeness of reality, of all the complexity, and one is unable to reduce it to a simple VR. I think the right hand is all about VR. I think the right hand is, oh my gosh, and I'm not stumbling over the language anymore. Every time I said left brain, I'd almost say right brain. I'm not switching the language. I'm not fighting that anymore. Wonderful. Okay. So, in a left-hand dominant person, one is not creating a simple model by which one can develop a simple model of life, right? A simple way of living. And updating it, obviously, from the chaos that the left hand observes. You could even say left visual field, or left, well, you could say left eye, but that's wrong, because it's left visual field. So when you look to the left, I think you're accessing certain dimensions of the left hand. Is it the right brain that you're accessing? Perhaps. I'm not gonna wed it to that anymore. I'm just gonna say you're accessing the left hand, and it's just gonna be analogical, right? It's gonna be an allegory, a metaphor. That's what I'm talking about with analogical. I'm talking about the way we overlap patterns. It's a very important term. It's a very important concept that we need to integrate back into our society so that we can use those, and I'm not necessarily using that in a fire logic way, but so that we can use the analogical again. What is it? Use and do. Yeah, that's interesting. Gosh, I'm still having trouble with those terms, man. Use and do. Okay, I guess this is not the time to build that. Okay, so I gotta figure that out though. Yeah, I guess that's it. That was pretty good. Maybe I'll go ahead and upload this one. I haven't uploaded anything in a long time, partially because I've been sick, and partially because I've been trying to up my level of quality, and I've not been able to produce very high quality videos, nor have the time to edit them. I barely have the time to upload them. Sometimes it takes me a long time to upload one. So anyway, I'm just rambling at this point because I haven't come to a stop yet. But now, I've come to a stop at work. So, good night, everybody. Good night. Good morning, everybody. Bye.